Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm in the BA Test Kitchen to have a super secret conversation about Chris Morocco. Once again, we're putting Chris's super taster abilities to the test. This is Maangchi's seafood kimchi fried rice. I'm challenging Chris to recreate this dish with all of the ingredients in just one day. He'll be able to taste it, touch it, and smell it, but at no point will he be able to see this dish. At the end of the day, we'll come back to see his final creation, and I'll be the judge.
Looks like sports.
There's something a little like fishy, a little like squiddy, a little oystery, but like also like bean sprouts. Just gonna let that hang out in the room. You all discuss. Wow, whatever it is, there's a lot of it. It seems like we've got some bivalve shelves. I'm gonna probably call this for a mussel. Wait, more seafood? But like with a different shape to the shell. It's like this feels like more like a clam or a cockle, sort of like flattened ellipse kind of thing. We've got clam, or is it a cockle or a manila clam? Oh my gosh, you know when you can like, it's like you know the smell and yet like you can't. Oh, kimchi. Oh God, that's good. Oh, we've got shrimp. It feels like it was probably seared. I'm trying to figure out what these little like pops of texture and firmness are. Oh, sesame seeds. So now I have like a large diver scallop. Feels like it was probably seared, just has a little bit more bite to it. That doesn't feel like it came from poaching or steaming. It's like a lot of food here. 6 scallops maybe and counting. So I think I'm mostly down to rice now. It's all kind of like joined together. It's spicy, but it's like very savory. I mean, I think it's reasonable to think that there could be some gochujang in here, maybe a little bit of soy sauce. Could be a seafood-based stock, sort of like Korean dashi. There also is this element over here that I need to get into. Oh, it's giving me soy plus citrus with almost like a horseradish quality to it, like wasabi. It reads kind of thin, but there's also like a little bit of texture as though something were kind of stirred in and dissolved. Is it like a S&B hot oriental mustard? All the flavors I'm tasting feel like of a Korean pantry, that this is like kimchi fried rice with seafood. Top line is like, it's really good. So I'm gonna break down some of these components. You've got mussels. We're gonna call those cockles or manila clams, medium shrimp, sea scallops, short grain white rice, and then you've got the kimchi as well. Do I think we need to actually make a seafood broth? Kombu, salted anchovies, and mustard powder. But beyond that, I don't know, I guess we'll see. This is my list. Somebody else is gonna shop this for me. Not riding on any shopping carts today, sorry. There's not a lot of stuff here. I didn't even talk about garlic or ginger, did I? I didn't really taste it, but like looking at this stuff here, it's like, oh yeah. I wanna get started by making some rice. I'm looking for rice that is chewy, nice, like kind of like pleasantly dense, compact grains, and I'll make enough for both rounds of testing. So let's toast off some sesame seeds. I feel like I was tasting something bursting with flavor and nuttiness. And then I think there's some kind of broth being added to it. Something, you know, it's like really flavoring the rice. And to that end, I'm gonna get some kombu soaking. Korean style dashi uses dried anchovy as opposed to katsuobushi. Ben just popped one for the record. I mean, that's like off-label use as far as I'm concerned. It's been a long time, but I do feel like you normally take out the little black intestinal tract. You often do take the head off as well. These are gonna be adding salt, funkiness, and depth. I don't think I like honestly tasted something like as intense as like the dried anchovy, but nice to have the option of using an already fully flavored broth to thin out our gochujang and then incorporate into that fried rice mixture. So maybe we'll chop the kimchi. And I was kind of questioning, okay, well, is there any additional acid in this dish? But I think it could very plausibly only be coming from the kimchi. Rice is off heat. I'm just fluffing it, redistribute some of that moisture. Lid's back on for 10 more minutes just to kind of steam it out. Our dashi mixture, I think we're good to go here. Ooh, it's nice. It just creates this like sweetness and roundness and surprisingly clean. Gochujang is a Korean fermented chili pepper paste. It's a one-stop flavor powerhouse. The question of whether soy sauce belongs in here, I'm leaning a little bit less on the notion of it being in there because there is that finishing drizzle that would seem to have mustard powder. There was a little bit of like a siltiness to it. Ooh, a lot of bitterness there. So I'm gonna try prepared wasabi. It's a little bit cleaner, brighter. We'll do something like that. Say we're there. Oil, just doing a little pre-salting. The question is, I mean, are we doing scallops first, scallops and shrimp together? Maybe we'll do scallops first and then shrimp.
What do you think scallops are?
No, where does scallop come from, the word? Oh, my pronunciation? Oh, possibly from my grandmother.
Where's your grandmother from?
Worcester.
Oh, Worcester.
Worcester. Seems like if you're gonna sear a scallop, go for it. Feels like it was probably seared. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize we were going quite that hard. Hard sear. Sorry, we'll get them next time.
Doing shrimp now.
I don't know, this is feeling kind of like almost needlessly fussy. 2 rounds of seafood cooking, then we start our rice. Love kimchi. It's also like really cool what happens when you cook it. Tempers the acidity a little bit, but brings out a lot of like the sweetness. About 2 cups of rice. Just want to break it up a little bit. So I'm just gonna kind of leave that in contact here. Get that pretty gosh darn crispy. This is ready. So manila clams are going in and mussels are in. Rather save the cockles maybe for the final dish. The workflow just seems a little weird. It would be one thing if you were serving from this, but ultimately it's like whatever you arrange in the cooking environment, you kind of have to undo for the sake of plating in a bowl. We'll look at them pop open. I'm gonna lay our shrimp in, scallops. It's kind of like Korean paella. So the goal with the liquid now is to reduce down further, and hopefully that happens in a couple minutes so we don't overcook anything. So this is sort of the awkward thing, right? There's a lot of like manual intervention. You kind of want the rice on the bottom, striking me as like a little bit weird. It's like a very awkward plate. So there's our toasted sesame seeds, it's wasabi. So this is my first attempt at the dish. Kimchi paella, or kimchi seafood fried rice. Ingredients, I would give myself 60. The main things that I feel good about are the seafood selection, rice, kimchi, and probably the gochujang. After that, technique-wise, 60. Doing the scallops and then the shrimp, do they really need to be seared on their own, or could everything just go into the pot together? Visually, maybe 80. The elements feel like they're there. Flavor-wise, the heat balance actually seems pretty good to me. Maybe 70. Actual scores. Let's see where we are at. That's not unexpected ingredient and technique-wise. I am going to be looking really closely again at how these ingredients come together. I don't know, it's either think less or think more. God, there's something about like the way like a scallop in particular smells, I find very compelling. Maybe there's no sear happening here. I'll buy that, no sear on the scallop. What about the shrimp? I think maybe it's that rice mixture that made it read like the shrimp would have needed to be seared on its own. I think I'm feeling good about my seafood selection. kinds of aromatics that I would think about would be onion, scallion, garlic, and ginger. So it is like a really nice sweetness. Could be that there's like a little bit of onion. Feeling for that little layer of sediment settling in at the bottom. Is it just a style of prepared mustard? I thought we had covered our bases with like a mustard powder, but is there also like a wasabi powder? That's just something I just don't know. All right, second tasting done. I think I've learned what I can, and time to have my attempt at the last dish. I've never used wasabi powder before. It has been opened. So intrigued by the directions and how you prepare the wasabi that I'm gonna follow the directions exactly. All right, we made a paste. Place container upside down and wait 1 minute for maximum spiciness. Minute timer. It's building spiciness. What do you think is happening? Is it like minimizing oxygen? Just follow the instructions exactly and don't change a thing. Do you use the prepared wasabi with the soy or just put wasabi powder and soy? Yeah, it's giving me a little bit of that like gritty texture. And then the prepared wasabi. Maybe there's no difference here. I'm gonna just go with the prepared one. One big difference here is aromatics. For aromatics, what I'm really talking about is onion, garlic next, ginger. So aromatics are done. I used manila clams on my first attempt. I was feeling more manila on this tasting, but it would just be such a shame not to cook off those cockles, you know, and they're so damn good. I'm just doing a cup of water. Cockles and mussels are in. I'm just looking to cook them such that I can shuck them open and then ultimately use this liquid as the base of our sauce. So I've got a little onion, ginger, and garlic. I just want to get these soft and I want to develop their flavor a little bit. Get our kimchi in. Just a little bit of like the kimchi juice, a little bit of brightness. I'm gonna go with 3 cups of rice just so I make sure I have plenty of this mixture. If you're using kind of fresher rice, this is kind of the moment that you need to spend a little bit of effort breaking it up and breaking it apart. So I'm just throwing scallops and some shrimp into a bowl so I can season with a little bit of salt. Rice is real close. Hear the pitch go up, a little bit more dried out, crackly. The thing that feels hardest to me is honestly the scallops. Saying it, hearing myself saying it, and then watching myself just sort of chuck them into a fried rice mixture rather than trying to get them like burnished and crispy. Just like dumping them in there kind of unceremoniously. That is our seafood broth. I mean, it's certainly easier this way. I basically want it to be just about dry, but I want the seafood cooked through. Do a little pinch of salt in there. And then our cooked bivalves just went in. I don't know. I mean, it seems a little bit wrong to me. Like there's quite so much rice on top. I don't know. If I start messing with it, I mean, there's just like no end to it. So we're gonna say that it's done. This is my second and final attempt at the dish. It looks like, frankly, a little bit of a mess. Everything kind of jumbled in there together. But I think I created flavors that are very similar to the dish. In terms of talking scores, my actual on ingredients was a 60. Maybe we pulled this up to a 70. Technique-wise, I would love to think we made some material improvements. And again, like maybe we pulled that up to a 70. Appearance, did I just shoot myself in the foot? Maybe we can hope that this is like still at least like an 85. Flavor-wise, I'd love to think this is like kind of knocking on an 85. Once again, we have Hannah lined up to judge. We all know she can be tough, but she ultimately is very fair. This is the point in the day where I'm just like, I just need to know the answers. Please put me out of my misery. Hey, Hannah, back so soon?
We meet again.
Yeah.
Like, should we just get into it?
Sure, absolutely.
May I present to you Maangchi's seafood kimchi fried rice.
At first, I seared my shrimp and my scallops, and then for the second attempt, I didn't.
But overall, like the color, the general ingredients, they look to be the same.
Are the scallops and shrimp ever incorporated into the fried rice, or are they simply put onto the plate as part of the final presentation?
It is the latter.
Okay.
And wait, like you say scallops.
No, we covered that earlier.
You did? Okay. She treats the scallops and the shrimp before she even cooks them with salt, pepper, and like a light dusting of potato starch, which is what is accounting for this very light crust. And then she is creating an infused oil with a few aromatics. She uses that oil to cook both the scallops and shrimp first. Then she puts in her clams and mussels, cooks them until they pop open.
What is she doing with the liquid?
She doesn't do anything to the liquid. So what you did is something that I would do, just reinforce the end result, put it somewhere because it's like liquid gold. And then she starts her kimchi fried rice. So what she does is sautés the kimchi for a few minutes. She adds her rice and then her gochujang. Then all of the seafood gets reintroduced and like just dotted on top, covers the pan with a lid, and allows the bottom of the rice to crisp up. I know you are frying as one would and should to make a fried rice constantly, but that's not what she does. Hers is largely stationary. But yeah, it's not wrong, but not right.
That's like the most Hannah statement
Is
ever.
it? I mean, this is also a very unique dish to have like a sidecar of dipping for the seafood.
I see.
Not necessarily for the rice. Yeah.
I ended up coming around to wasabi powder.
Excellent. Wait, did you reconstitute the wasabi in water first?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's exactly
That's what it said to do on the tin.
Oh, good. And then lastly, the finishing touch for like 99% of Korean cooking, you need to know this, is toasted sesame oil.
Is it? Okay.
And Maangchi in particular, you know, she's like, sesame oil, like you know that's gonna finish every single dish. So ingredients, you gave yourself a 70 and I gave you a 75. You got nearly all. I mean, potato starch, like that's very advanced level. And then like cockles for clams. I think that's like a fine substitute. You did add ginger.
Yeah.
The toasted sesame oil, like I had to knock you on that. So for technique, you gave yourself a 70 and I actually gave you a 65. The way Maangchi made it is not how I would make it, but it's not how you made it either. Due to you not following her technique, like the texture on the seafood is like not the same.
Definitely.
So talking about appearance, you gave yourself an 85 and I actually gave you an 87 because frankly, it's a little bit more rustic, but if we were to replate it, like I think we could try to mimic this. How about taste? I think we need to try it.
Maangchi first.
I want a scallop.
The textures of the seafood elements are really nice. I love the presentation.
Yeah. You want to try her dipping?
That's nice.
Okay, let's try Chris Morocco's.
Oh, heavens.
It's wetter and more gingery.
Little like toastier.
They look very similar, but when you taste it, this more traditional style has like pops of acidity from the brine. This one has like a deep savoriness coming from the reinforced broth, but also that ginger is a little bit heavy-handed for me. You gave yourself an 85. I would give you an 82. I'm so nice to you. So my score to you is a 77.
Okay. I mean, I knew there was about 50 different ways to put that dish together, and I think I found the 49 wrong ways. It's like, sucks to feel yourself basically trying to validate your C and like play it off like it's a good thing. But honestly, like with this one, like I'll take that any day. Are you kidding? It's fine, we'll get them next time. Or not. 43 tries and counting. Still haven't gotten a straight A, but that's all right.
We need to add gochujang about maybe.
See, this is where I'm like, oh. All right, fair enough. We didn't need the liquid. All right. I'm catching my train. Fair play, Maangchi. You win this one.